Process costing is a form of operation costing whereby costs are charged to processes and averaged over unit produced. It is used by firms when there is a continuous flow of identical product where it is not possible to distinguish one unit from another. Examples for process costing are industries involved in chemical processing, oil refining, and fruit production. There are four characteristics of process costing. First, process cost centers are set up where all costs, direct and indirect costs incurred during the period are charged to each process, so that total cost for each process is obtained. Second, the total costs for each process are then shared equally among all cost units produced in that process. To calculate cost per unit, total cost minus normal loss in value divided by input minus normal loss in unit. Third, output of one process become the raw material or input for the next process. And the last characteristic are separate accounts are kept for each process.
Differences, process costing and job costing. Process costing involves the accumulation of costs for lengthy production runs involving products that are indistinguishable from each other, while for job costing involves the detailed accumulation of production costs attributable to specific units of groups of units. Process costing is used for standardized products while job costing is used for unique products. Process costing is used for large production runs, while job costing is used for very small production runs.
Process losses occur when quantity, weight, or volume of process output is less than the quantity, weight, or volume of input. Its main output is less than input. The possible causes of losses. First is waste. In certain type of processes, material physically disappears due to evaporation or shrinkage. It is discarded substance having no value. The example is gases, dust, and smoke. Second is scrap, a kind material residue from certain type of manufacturing processes. It is usually insignificant in quantity and sales value is relatively low. It can be sold at a lower price. Third is spoil work. It is output of processes that does not meet quality standard, sold as second or in bulk without further processing. Lastly is defective units. It is output of a process that does not meet quality standard but can be brought back to the normal standard by the rectification.
There are two types of losses, which are normal losses and abnormal losses. For normal losses, it is a level of losses expected in processing operation and it is unavoidable losses. These losses is expected under normal condition and determined based on past experience. Normal losses can be divided by two, which is normal losses without scrap value. For these losses, the good production will absorb the loss. The normal loss will become part of production cost and increase the cost of output per unit. No entry involved since no money involved in these losses. So next, normal losses with scrap value. It will reduce the cost of good units. For these losses, it will debit for normal loss account and credit on process account. For abnormal loss, it appears when actual production loss more than normal loss or when actual output less than normal output. It is unexpected and controllable, which are caused by abnormal conditions such as carelessness, plant breakdown, and substandard material.
Abnormal gain. If the actual production units are more than the anticipated units after deducting the normal loss, the difference between the two is known as abnormal gain. Actual output is more than the normal output. Value of abnormal gain is normal cost of normal output multiplied with units of abnormal effective, which is gained, while units of abnormal effectives, which is gained, equal to units entered minus normal wastage minus actual output.